Hello everyone, welcome to another live stream. So today is a bit of a different setting since I'm at the seaside. So you're going to see a different background behind me, but we're still going to do an analysis of the 6 currency pairs that I trade. So those are going to be Euro US dollar, Euro Japanese yen, Aussie US dollar, Aussie Japanese yen, the pound US dollar, and the New Zealand Japanese yen. So these ones are the pairs that I trade live, and then we're going to cover some interesting instruments such as gold, silver, S&P 500, Nasdaq, Bitcoin, Ethereum, DXY, and US oil. So if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat and we will cover any chart requests, any psychology questions, risk management, trading journey. So whatever you guys are interested in, make sure you put it in the chat and we will definitely go over them. But now it is 4 p.m. So I'm just going to quickly check the charts, see if any trades are forming right now. Just going to quickly flip through. Okay, we have some really nice price action, but no entries just yet. Let me see, maybe on NJ we can do a break and retest. No, it's a bit too far. But let me cover which ones I have on the watch list right now. So we're going to start with the Euro and US dollar. I did not take any trades from last Wednesday when we had the live stream. Basically, we were pretty descending. So the price was looking very high probability to start an uptrend. Flag on the Aussie US dollar too big. Yeah, so it is a bit too big. I'm not going to be taking a sell setup, but we're definitely going to cover it in a bit more detail after EU and EJ. But yeah, it's a bit too big. So we had a nice descending and I was expecting an uptrend. Yeah, so definitely a bit too big. I was expecting a push up and then maybe an uptrend to start, but we never got enough bullish momentum on the Euro and US dollar. Instead, we got this break, which was not big enough. I wanted a bit more of a convincing break to the upside, maybe something like this. Okay, so that one did not fit my personal plan. And then we were just very flat and range bound right here. There was some liquidity sweep opportunities. So if you're wondering, the liquidity sweep is a range bound entry. So you're basically looking to sell the top and you're looking to buy the bottom. We had a buy entry right here form. It didn't fit my personal plan because I want at least a 3 pip break. And as you can see, this was, I think, 2.6. Yeah, so it was not enough. The break was not big enough. But then we had another one right here, another liquidity sweep opportunity. And this was looking very, very clean because the price action was very flat, corrective and range bound. And this lower liquidity area was definitely very significant. Now, the reason I did not take this is I'm very careful on the Euro and US dollar. Aussie US dollar, I'm a bit more lenient because I have extensively backtested the Aussie US dollar with this liquidity sweep range bound entry. But on the Euro and US dollar, I'm a bit more patient, so I wanted a big bullish entry like this, and then I would take a nice buy setup. So because that didn't happen, I did not want to risk the 1% on this one. Or sorry, I'm risking 0.5% on the euro US dollar for the liquidity sweep because I'm still testing it, and I'm risking 1% on the liquidity sweep for the Aussie and the US dollar. But if you took it, I think it was a high probability setup. Okay, just did not fit my plan, but I do think the range was very nice. It would unfortunately be a losing trade. So the current price action is showing me some very interesting momentum. So we had this large drop down, as you can see here, some large bearish momentum, but it could not be sustained. And instead we got a big shift right here to the upside. So that was not really good. That was not really good to see. Okay. So I was no longer looking for sell setups. Then we broke the low retrace, broke the high retrace, broke the low with some momentum, but it could not be sustained. So most of the price action here did not interest me that much. What I did really like was this major bearish momentum right here. Okay, so that is something that I really, really liked. Now we are getting a V reversal in the current price action. What do I expect after a V reversal pattern? Well, usually I expect an uptrend to start. So we have the V reversal. Now I'm looking for a bit of a range, push up, and then a nice buy setup. Okay, so looking for a nice buy setup, but I want to see momentum continue up. I want to see a large bullish impulse to the upside form right here. Okay, so that is going to be on the radar for the euro and US dollar. Am I going to put it on the watch list right now? Well, to be honest, I do like this V reversal, so let's put it on the watch list. It's not often that I see such a clean V reversal as this one. So I'm definitely going to be closely monitoring this currency pair, seeing what will happen. Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's check out the dollar pairs next. So let's check out the Aussie and the US dollar. And it was definitely trending to a downside with a lot of force. Great momentum. Which one do you mean? You mean the euro and the US dollar, or you mean the Aussie and the US dollar with the great momentum? But from last Wednesday, when we had the prior live stream, we were showing some very clean descending price action, and I was very interested to look for a reversal. Most pairs this week, yeah, most pairs are showing some very nice trends, very nice momentum, and that is exactly what I'm waiting for. So I'm mainly a trend trader. Yes, I do have range bound entries that I use to make money in the range bound conditions, but most of the percentage and the biggest percentage comes from large trends, such as the ones that we are seeing this week. So finally, some trends have arrived. We know that the markets have been pretty corrective and slow, I would say, in the last few weeks. So this is really refreshing, and let's see if those trends will continue even in Thursday and Friday. Usually they do. Usually Mondays and Tuesdays are pretty corrective and range bound days, and then the real big momentum forms later in the week, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because you have a lot of news events. You have CPI, PPI, non-farm payroll, all sorts of news events. Okay, so if you have news events, it's more likely to spark trends than, let's say, on Monday or Tuesday when there is not really a lot of news coming out. But anyway, let's get back to pure price action, because I am a pure price action trader in the end. You're referring to euro US dollar specifically? Yeah. So did you take any trades on the euro and the US dollar? Maybe some sell setups or buy setups or liquidity sweeps even? Put it in the chat if you want. But look at this. This was a perfect descending channel. You do not get such clean channels very often, so I was definitely looking to make some profits from this channel. What I liked most about it is we were breaking the lows and leaving large wicks. So see large wick, double wicks, large wick here, triple wicks, and barely breaking them with just a couple of pips. So that is a very positive sign. You're waiting? Okay, didn't take any trades. Yeah, I'm being more patient. I'm looking for that nice clean V reversal to play out. I want to see a large push up, and then I'm going to look for buy setups. So I'm always looking for confirmation, always looking for a bullish, in this case, a bullish signature. So this didn't play out, unfortunately. Usually, after seeing such a clean descending, you have 1, 2, 3. I'm counting the dotted lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive breaks of the low. You usually get this. Okay. You usually get a very nice and a very strong uptrend, and then you want to be buying in the pullbacks. So you want to buy in these dips. You want to get in on some sort of a continuation pattern, maybe a flag, maybe a break and retest. Unfortunately, as you can see, we got some momentum like this, but then it quickly reversed in the opposite direction. Okay, so quickly went up and then quickly went down. And that is the pattern in and of itself. You're gonna see this form on some currency pairs. I have seen it form on the Aussie Japanese yen, on the New Zealand Japanese yen, and now I'm seeing it on the Aussie US dollar as well. And it is a pattern of a descending channel, and then a V reversal, and then you get a strong downtrend. Okay, so it is a mix from a channel and the V reversal. It also works to the upside. So it also works with an ascending channel, and then a V reversal, and then an uptrend starts. So what is the methodology behind it? Well, you're going to have a lot of buyers buying the bullish pressure, buying in the pullbacks, and they're most likely going to place their stop losses somewhere on the most recent lows like this. And then this V reversal absolutely cleans up all of the liquidity, takes out all of that liquidity, stops a lot of people out, possibly fills up the positions from the bigger players. Okay, let me just see which is the button. Okay, it's this one. Possibly fills up the bigger positions of the bigger players, and then the real trend starts. So in our example that I'm seeing right here, I'm seeing, as I already commented, that a very clean descending pattern, and then a V reversal, and then a downtrend is expected to start. So yeah, possibly there were a lot of retail sellers right here, putting their stop losses right above these highs. Okay, maybe somewhere in these areas. And then this V reversal for sure took out some liquidity. So let's put this one in place. And again, the bigger players may have been selling right into this blue candle, filling up their positions, and then finally dropping the price. Now, does the methodology behind it really matter? No, it doesn't. What matters is it a pattern? Does it work? If you take it 7 out of 10 times, if you see this pattern, is the market going to drop? Is it going to range? Or is it going to go up? And I would say 6 or 7 out of 10 times, it's going to drop. It's going to create a strong downtrend. And that's your edge. So when you see the pattern, when you see the signature like this, see the confirmation, well, then you can look for sell setups. Because you know that 7 out of 10 times, this pattern creates a nice downtrend. I did take a sell setup in the end. It was a flag, as you can see right here. What do I like about it? Let me first list all of the positives, and then I'll list some of the negatives, some of the negative confluences, let's say. So for me, the positives were, again, this pattern in the price action was very clean, and I was expecting the price to go down. Then we got a big bearish pressure right here. This candle, this one, and this one, clean close, big wick, but then another clean close. The size of the body of the candles was also very strong. So the price action was nice. The momentum was very strong. And then the flag pattern was small and tight. It was a small and tight flag pattern, which is the most high probability formation of a flag pattern, an entry pattern, which you can get. Now, the warning signs, well, it was Monday. Mondays and Tuesdays predominantly range-bound days. I believe most of my losses come from a Monday or Tuesday, my trending entry losses. So that was the kind of the first warning sign. Second warning sign was this wick. Okay, so this was definitely a somewhere between a big and a large wick, just by visual assessment. But it was concerning, I'm not gonna lie. It was definitely on my mind. For me, in the end, I did decide that the pros outweigh the cons, especially with that high probability price action and this very clean momentum and the very small flag. So I did end up taking this sell setup in the end with a 10 pip stop loss, right? So took this one, fit my plan, even with the wick. Yes, I know a lot of traders stayed out of this trade because of the wick and because it was Monday. For me, if I'm seeing such a strong downtrend like this, high probability price action, I am going to tolerate some warning signs. I'm not going to let just a couple of warning signs stop me from taking a high probability entry. And then fortunately for me, price did start going down and I just kept following the trade with my trade management rule. Also, no real shift in momentum. That is true. So nowhere here did I see any shifts in momentum. The only shift in momentum, the only bullish pressure was in this V reversal, and that was not really concerning. So especially in the flag, there was absolutely zero selling pressure, and that's a very good sign. That is a very, very positive thing to see. So end up trailing the position. Okay. And currently, I think my stop loss is gonna be, let me see. So my stop loss currently is gonna be right above this high. It's gonna be 2 pips above this high right here. So this is 66157. So I'm at 177. Let me just check if I have it put into my MetaTrader. Let's open it up. See, modify position 177. It should be 177, I believe. Let's see it. Yeah, okay, that's it. So got into MetaTrader. And yeah, then we had a big move down during the night. I think this happened very early in the morning. Great trade. Thank you. Thank you. Were you looking at this sell setup? Did you take any trades? Or did you stay out because of the wick? So around 1 in the morning, price continued dropping down. I did look for scale-ins, so for additional sell setups. There was a scale-in, I think, that some traders did take right here. They saw like a break and retest. Price was trending down. You were, but you took the one on NJ. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. we're gonna cover the one on NJ. Mm-hmm. It was the wick. Yeah, so I know Griff and Nico were looking at the Aussie US dollar. Griff and Nico are in Zentum trading. They're mentors there. But the wick kept them out of the sell setup. For me, it fit my plan. NJ did not fit the plan, but I did take the euro and the Japanese yen. I think both EJ, NJ, and AJ formed an entry at the same time. No-brainer trading. You took the initial entry and the scale-in as well. Okay, cool, nice. So you took this sell setup that I'm discussing right now. And the Villiers, you took EJ as well. Nice. Okay, congrats. Very good trades. They did end up dropping down for like 15% or 20% winners, but they took us out right before dropping down. It is what it is. It's part of the game. If you were using our trade management, if you were using like fixed targets, then you would you would probably make more percentage in this example. So this was the initial sell setup. This was the scale-in. Yeah, it dropped heavily. It dropped, like, I think 200 pips, something like that. We would have made 200 pips. You were using the trade management. Okay, so you got taken out for like 2.5% because that's what I got taken out for. I think it was 2.5%. Still happy with it. It's still a winner. It's still a nice risk to reward, but it is kind of tough to watch it just melt just melt down without us. Part of the game. That's why trading is tough. And we must stick to the trade management, because next time it may keep us in. It may make us a lot of percentage than if we were using fixed targets of, let's say, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, or maybe 1 to 15. Like taking partials along the way, taking a partial at 1 to 5, then 1 to 10, and then keeping the one partial for, let's say, 1 to 15. So that is the break and retest right here. Your sell entry would be on this low. 10 pip stop loss is what I use. And you would probably get taken in, I believe. I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would. What I didn't like is this wick and the slowdown. So the momentum was kind of slowing down, even for a scale-in. Some people tend to be more aggressive with scale-ins. I personally don't have it in my plan. And I saw, as I said, the slowdown, and this wick didn't really fit the plan 100%, so I did stay out of the scale-in. But the scale-in would be now flying in some really good percentage. Have to run. Thanks, Marco. Enjoy the coast. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you for the comments. Definitely see you next Wednesday on the next live stream, and have a great rest of the day. So price melted down and then saw some major bullish pressure kick in. Okay. So major bullish pressure kick in. I did not take any scale-ins right here, and I believe we have formed a flag right now. Yeah, we did. So we have another flag, but this one is just far too big. It's showing a lot of bullish pressure. This is the first low, first high, second low, second high right here, and the red candle would be the entry candle. But as I said, this is just far too big. It's showing me a lot of buying pressure right here in this candle and in this one as well. What I think is going to happen, well, I really don't know. But with this much bullish pressure, I kind of expect this to reverse up. So I kind of expect this to take me out for, as I said, 2.5%, a bit less, because it's 177. So this is 7. Take me out for 2.3%, okay? AUD trades, that would be too much buying pressure. Good to know. For me, yes. For me, if I just visually assess these candles, and that is the only thing I really rely on as a technical trader, is a visual assessment of the size of the candles. For me, these two candles definitely show too much buying pressure. They are kind of as big as the biggest sell candle and much bigger than most of the candles in the pair price action. So that is telling me the markets do want to go up, unfortunately. The probabilities are telling me that we are going to get taken out for just it's still good percentage, but it's nowhere near 5.5%. But it is what it is. It's part of the game. It's part of the plan. That's how we backtest it. Even if it takes us out, if it does this, I'll still be happy because I followed my plan and it was a good opportunity. Bihogo, there's an internal reversal that formed. Did you consider it? I definitely did. So let's go over that one as well. The internal reversal was right here. I'm just going to give a quick rundown of the internal reversal entry. So we teach it at Zentum Trading, and it has 3 key components. First one is the descending structure, a clean descending channel. Second one is a nice strong impulse in the direction of the channel. And the third component is the big bullish candle right here, which would be your entry candle. So first part, second part, and the third part is this blue entry candle. Now for me, this one did not fit the plan because the blue candle was not really far too small, but I wanted the bigger one. So I wanted to see something like this. And also the descending was kind of trending down, not really descending. So if the descending was a bit cleaner and if this blue candle was a bit bigger, yes, I would be in this trade. It's definitely valid. Is it high probability for me? it wasn't really. And I was in a sell setup, so maybe I had a bias for the price to go down, right? Because we're all impacted by trading psychology in the end. So that might have played a part in this as well. And I was sleeping when this entry happened. But assessing it now, let me see, would it be a winner? Let's check it out. So this would be the buy setup. If you had your stop loss on the low, maybe it can still hit the take profit. But basically, for me, even assessing it this now, the descending was not that clean and the entry candle was not that big. Okay, so it doesn't really fit the plan. And currently, what am I waiting for? Well, two scenarios. Either the price will take me out for 2.3%. Understandable, no worries. Yeah. Did you take it? Were you looking at it? Did you consider the entry? Did you like the entry candle? If you did, there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's right between being valid and high probability. So even if you took it, I do think it may still be worth the 1% risk. But yeah, two scenarios. Either I will get taken out, or if the price does decide to continue with the overall downtrend, I'm going to look for a large impulse down like this, and I'm going to look for a flag setup or some sort of a continuation pattern, maybe a break and a retest. I am definitely going to put the Aussie and the US dollar on the watch list, okay, because I definitely want to see what will happen with my trade, and I want to see if potentially I'll get some scaling opportunities. Right now, we're just sitting inside of the low and inside of the high. Yeah, I took it on the next candle, even if the body was small. Okay, so you took it here. That's okay. That's all right. I would have liked it if maybe the next candle showed a big bullish body like this. So for me, this body is kind of small, but if it fits your plan, then definitely good luck with the trade. It would be currently running in profit, right? I do think it would currently be running some profit if you had your stop loss right here on the low. Yeah, so you would be running some profit. So good luck. Stick to your plan. Stick to the trade. And we will see how the trade will develop. What is your target? Are you aiming for a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1? Where's the stop loss as well? Is there stop loss on the low, or do you use like a 10 pip or a 12 pip stop loss? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, so printing a bullish candle right now. Pound US dollar is looking very interesting as well. Unfortunately, it printed a wick right now, like a huge wick. But at this point, it was looking very clean, very high probability. Let's analyze also the prior price action. Use the normal plus 2%. Okay, cool. Yeah, I use that one as well. I think Nico from Zentum Trading also uses a 2-to-1 target. I'm sure he does. So that's cool. From Wednesday, nothing much was happening. We had this bearish pressure, but then immediate bullish pressure. Then we were just very flat and range bound, but then we did start to form a nice descending structure. So we did start to break the lows very correctly, print wicks, so broke the low underneath the range. So this liquidity area is going to be very strong and very likely to reject. Huge wick, breaks the low, leaves a wick, another wick, and another wick. So you have 1, 2, 3. Okay, then you have a break of the high. So there was a break of structure, unfortunately, which makes this setup not as clean as they come. But overall, I do like how we just kept breaking the lows with wicks and retrace. So that was very nice to see. And then we had a very nice bullish signature. So this is exactly what I look for. This is perfect price action to me. Did you test the liquidity sweep on the pound US dollar? No. So I didn't. I only did it on the Aussie US dollar, currently doing it on the euro and US dollar. Pound US dollar, maybe it would be a nice entry. I'm not sure. So I think it's definitely worth backtesting. definitely worth going through the data and seeing if there is an edge, behind it. Pound and US dollar tends to be really corrective and flat for a long time. The last few months have been pretty tough to trade on the pound US dollar. We haven't had many trending winners. So during those times, maybe the liquidity sweep produced some nice entries. If you want, I would definitely highly advise backtesting it. Maybe you'll find some nice price action or some nice liquidity sweep examples. If you do, definitely let me know your results. Put it in the chat in our Discord, and I'm interested to see what you will find. So where were we? Descending structure. After a descending structure, I expect an uptrend to start like this, which is exactly what started happening. But the current candles are kind of showing me weakness. So we're seeing a huge wick form on the end, which is not really a good sign. It's kind of a warning sign. But I would still be interested to possibly take a flag setup. If a nice flag forms with a range, I must see the range because this wick is really big. So if we get a nice flat range and then a nice flag entry, I will consider this this buy setup. What I would prefer to see, I would prefer to see this being a pullback candle and then the next candle to break the high with a lot of force, but a clean close. And then I would set my order on the top of this inside bar with a 15 pip stop loss. And then I would look for a break and retest. So that would be even more high probability and it would be even better to take. So my bias, the probabilities are telling me that this price wants to go up. Depending on what will happen next, I will look for buy setups. And this pair is definitely on the watch list. Next, we're going to cover the JPY pairs. So we're going to do the euro and the Japanese yen. I did take a sell setup on this one. I know a lot of you took sell setups on AJ and NJ and on EJ as well. So basically, let me just cover this setup right here. I did take a buy setup as well. We're going to quickly run through it. So with this flag, I saw a descending structure. I saw also a descending flat range, descending channel, reversal up. I'm definitely expecting the price to go up. I saw some nice bullish candles right here, and then we had our flag formation. So first high, first low, second high, second low. The blue candle is the entry candle. Okay. And it was a loss. In the end, I took it with a 12 pip stop loss. Unfortunately, we did get taken out. It was running some nice percentage at one point. So at this point, we were running some really nice percentage, but it did reverse on us, unfortunately, and it took us out for a loss. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to go grab some water. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So this was a loss. And then what happened? Well, we kind of were flat, broke the low with momentum, but could not commit, and then ranged around a bit more. After that came our sell entry setup right here. And with this setup, it was definitely worth taking. So let me list all of the let me list all of the pros and all the cons. So the pros are that we have a large push down, pullback, continuation, pullback without any bullish pressure, so without a shift, and a continuation of the momentum with a nice clean close on the bottom. So if you just focus on this part, it is a very high probability setup as well. Nice big bearish leg. Again, pullback, but zero bullish pressure, and then the price continues with a very nice clean close right here. Now, some of the warning signs were that it was Tuesday, so Mondays and Tuesdays are predominantly range-bound days, and the distance to the entry level was kind of big. I think it was 20 pips, so 24 pips, which is kind of a lot, even if you visually draw a candle. It did show a bit of a shift in momentum, so those were the two warning signs. Now, one thing I know that on the euro and the Japanese yen, these entries do work, so you can tolerate you can tolerate a bit of a bigger, let's say, shift in momentum to the actual entry. That is why I did put my order on and got taken out. Price started dropping, pulled back a bit, took us out, as you can see here. So this was like a 2.5% winner. Let me see, 040. 060. This was 2.5% winner. Yeah. So took us out and then just started dropping heavily. Right. Big drop to the downside. If we didn't have this inside bar right here, I would still be in the trade and I would bank a whole lot more percentage, but it is what it is. It's part of the game. Basically, this would end up flying all the way to, let's say, 11%. I would say even more. How is it only 11? I thought it was going to be more, but that's okay. So this was a bit tough to watch because the price melted down. So just took us out and then started melting down. But again, part of the game, it's part of trading. That's why trading is very hard, because you're going to have missed trades. You're going to have drawdown periods. You're going to have trades like this where you're right about the direction, but you get taken out right before the big move happens. So it is just another day in the markets. Still happy that it was a winner. 2.5% is really nice. And if you have a big account, if you have a lot of funding, if you have big capital, 2.5% can be a big sum of money as well. Let's look at the most recent price action. Also, there was a sell setup right here. So sell setup right here. This one broke the high, broke the low in one candle, and the break was not big enough. So I did not take this one. Sure, price action was in a heavy downtrend, so price action was very nice, but this momentum right here was not big enough to take. And again, when a candle breaks both the low and the high in the same candle, then it does not really fit my plan. That is another warning sign. So we then pulled back a bit. I think even if I took this one, it would be a loss. Let me see. Yeah, it would definitely be a loss. So it would be even a loss. And then price did continue down with the momentum. Now it's starting to pull back a bit, but I am still looking for sell setups, to be honest. This still does look very bearish. The momentum here looks very bearish. So I would still look for a nice flag like this, or a nice break of the low, retest of the high, and that is basically a break and retest. So I would look for some nice continuation entries, continuation sell setups right here. Now, if the flag does form, I will be very careful of the volatility. So if I go in with my regular 12 pip stop loss, I think it would look absolutely tiny. Yeah, it would look absolutely tiny, which doesn't really make sense to go in with such a small stop loss, because there is a very high chance that you will get taken out for a loss, even if you're right about the initial direction. So if a flag forms, I may extend the stop loss to, let's say, 20 pips or maybe even 25 pips. Okay, settings 250. So if a flag does form, I will definitely extend the stop loss. That is in my trade plan. It is something I have recently started doing because the JPY pairs can be really volatile. They can really have large moves that drop for 200 or 300 pips. If you want to exploit those moves, you need to extend the stop loss because otherwise you'll just get taken out all of the time and you're going to have a really, really bad win rate. So I will extend the stop loss. I would prefer to see a bit of a range right here because of this wick. So that large wick is a bit of a warning sign. I would prefer to see price range around like this and then form a flag. That would be perfect. But it is definitely on the watch list and on the radar. Next one is going to be Aussie Japanese yen. Okay. Let me just see what is happening here. Okay. Big downtrend, same as on the euro and the Japanese yen. Very, very large downtrend. No flag here. I was looking for a sell setup. Nothing formed. Broke the low, retraced. Broke the low. We got momentum. Maybe some people were looking for a sell setup right here. It would be a break and retest. So basically, pull back, break of the low, clean close, retest of the most recent low right here. A trade would be possible on this level. For me, the break was not enough. So this break was absolutely very small. This momentum looked very small as well, like 3 very small candles. If you compare the size of these candles to the size of the overall momentum, for example, here, 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 and here. So just compare the size of the bodies, you're going to see a big, big difference. So I did not want to risk the 1%. Not enough momentum. I did stay out of this opportunity. And then it would be a winner. Same as on the euro Japanese yen. It will basically start dropping and it would just take you out for a small win and then drop immensely with big bearish legs. Also another sell setup right here. Nice leg down, clean close, but again, this is not enough momentum. This candle does not look like a big bearish candle. It looks like it has minimal momentum, same as these 3. And that's not good. That to me is a warning sign. It's a very, very big warning sign, even with the whole price action being in a big, big downtrend. So that definitely didn't fit my plan either. And it would be a loss. I would get taken out with my 12 pip stop loss. For the break and retest, I do not usually extend the stop loss, even if the volatility is high. I only extend the stop loss on the flags. So only on flag setups will I extend the stop loss if I see high volatility. Here I would get in with a 12 pip stop loss and it would be a loss. So it's good that I did follow the plan. Current price action. We did get a big, big drop right here. Some really, really nice selling pressure. Okay. Very nice, very strong selling pressure. First low, but a flag never formed. Okay. So this would be first low, first high, second low. This can be the second low. We never got the second high. So we never got the full flag formation. And I was looking for a sell setup. This definitely looked interesting. Definitely looked interesting, but we never got that nice flag setup. And then the price continued dropping. Did I have my order on, or do I have my order on right now for a break and retest, which this definitely is a good opportunity. Large selling pressure, small pullback, no buying pressure. Selling pressure continues, very big momentum down, nice clean close. My entry would be on this low right here. But this is just too far away. This is just too far away. I would need to see a big shift in momentum to the upside in order to get tagged into this position, which I'm not happy with. Okay, so I'm not comfortable with taking, with the price going back. What is it? It's going to be like 50 pips. Yeah, so price going back 72 pips to tag me, and that is definitely going to show me some tremendous buying pressure, and it is not something I want to be I want to have in the market. But I would take a flag. I would take a flag, extend the stop loss. So a flag setup or even a break and retest setup a bit lower. If we can pull back a bit, break the low with force, retest the low, that would fit the plan. So I'm definitely gonna put this pair on the watch list. Looks like every single currency pair is gonna be on the watch list. And I'm gonna switch to the New Zealand Japanese yen, which is looking very similar to the Aussie Japanese yen. That's a normal story. It usually happens to be so that the Aussie Japanese yen and the New Zealand Japanese yen move together. But sometimes you get an entry on one and you do not get an entry on the other. So it is smart to trade both because entries can form at different times, and maybe Aussie Japanese yen does not produce a flag, but at the same time the NJ pair produces a nice flag setup. So it makes sense to trade both, even though most of the movement is very, very correlated. And my analysis is going to be pretty similar. So basically from last Wednesday, we had a V reversal. Yeah, so this is the same pattern I was talking about on the Aussie and US dollar. See this one right here at the beginning of this live stream. Basically, you get a descending structure, you get a V reversal, and then you start the big, big downtrend. That's what you're seeing here. So it is just something I have spotted, but it is a market pattern like any other, okay? It is actually a combination of patterns. It is the combination of a descending channel and the V reversal. We may even pick a name for it. So if you have a good name for this particular pattern, you can put it in the chat. Maybe we'll implement it at Zentum Trading. So I was not surprised that we started this big, big downtrend. See, very, very large drop. Price was just heavily, heavily dropping. And it's like a big correction from this very big uptrend that we had. See, we were in a big, big uptrend. So this was just a big, big correction down. And that's how the markets move. So they either move up constantly, in which case you're going to see a graph like this: big move up, drawdown, big move up, drawdown, big move up, drawdown. So the markets never move in a straight line, but they move with big swings up and big swings down. Or if it's a bearish scenario, if the price is overall going down, not this price, but let's say just on the daily chart or on the monthly chart, and you're going to see swings like this. So price moves in swings. It never just drops for days and for months. Even here, you can see some pullbacks. This was a pullback. This was a pullback. This was a pullback. Small pullback here. So you're getting pullbacks, which can, of course, be exploited. You can sell on the pullbacks or buy on the pullbacks and exploit the uptrend or the downtrend. That was the pattern. We continued descending. We were flat a bit. Right here, I was expecting the price to start an uptrend. There was a flag on Monday. Did you take it? Yeah, we're going to cover the flag. It was very interesting. It was, I think, a huge winner, a very, very big winner. I did not take it. I didn't take it. It did not really fit the plan, but I'm definitely going to analyze it. So we saw a very nice, clean descending structure. Again, I mainly focus on the last 3 to 5 days of trading price action. I try to keep it simple. So on the 1 hour chart, I only trade on the 1 hour chart and only the last 3 to 5 days of price action, basically. Clean descending, nice signature of bullish momentum, nice close on the top, but it could never commit. It just instead started dropping and the uptrend never formed. We got a downtrend, and here is the flag opportunity that Bihogo was talking about. So big drop down, okay, and then we have our flag. Now for me personally, this was just showing me a bit too much bullish pressure. Okay, so first low, first high, second low, second high. But this candle was just showing me a bit too much buying pressure, and it was Monday as well, which was another warning sign, and I was not really happy to risk the 1% on this particular trade. Maybe if it was later in the week, maybe I would take it. But I was really not happy to see this big shift in this blue candle. Okay. Now, did I look for an internal reversal setup? Not really, because I wanted to see a bit of a bigger shift for an internal reversal. I wanted to see like a big blue candle, or at least the next candle to continue up like this. Okay, so I wanted to see a bit more buying pressure. But we did have a lot of the characteristics. Let me just close my Discord. Let me just check something quickly. Okay. So descending structure, that's the first part you need. Then you need a big push down. You have that as well, and then you need a big buying pressure shift. And this was not really enough for me, so I did stay out of the internal reversal. And then the flag that we just talked about. So the flag would be a big winner. Let me see. Adi took the flag in NJ, barely broke the first high. I took it. Nice, very nice. Congrats on taking the trade. Definitely congrats on taking the NJ flag. If I did take it, I think I would take it with maybe a 15 pip stop loss, because the volatility was pretty high. Again, for flags, I will extend the stop loss. And what would happen? Well, as you can see, big drop. Where would we get taken out? Probably on the bottom right here. And it would be like a 8.5% winner. Yeah, Adi took it with 15 pips. Nice. Cool. Congrats. It's an interesting setup. So big winner, and congrats on taking it. Did you take the scale in? We did have a scale in right here, a break and retest scale in, which you could have exploited possibly. So again, big leg down, pull back, leg down, double wicks, pull back, break of the low, clean close. You could have sold right here on this inside bar. You were in the scaling as well. Nice. That's some really good percentage. That is definitely some really good percentage. Tagged you in and then dropped. And you would be out right here if you were using our trade management. So you would get taken out for around 1.8%, something like that. Again, this is the same trade that happened on the Aussie Japanese yen and on the Euro Japanese yen. I personally took it on the Euro Japanese yen. All right. Thanks for giving the confidence from Zentum. Yeah, no worries, Adi. Did you take any other trades? Did you take the one on the Aussie and the US dollar? You can put it in the chat, or maybe any other trades that happened this week or last week, because we did have some really nice trends form. You took AU, okay. You took the Aussie, US dollar and the New Zealand Japanese yen. Cool, nice. You did mention it before, didn't you? Maybe I just saw something different. Okay, but you're still in the Aussie and the US dollar in that case, I presume. So still running nicely. Did you take the scale in for the Aussie and the US dollar? I personally didn't. It didn't fit the plan. But maybe for you, you were willing to be a bit more aggressive in the scale in. So yeah, this would just tag you out and then continue flying down. It is what it is, but part of the game. You did take the scale in? Oh, okay, cool. Nice. Congrats. Very nice trades in that case. It's a really good week for you. which is awesome to see. Did you have any challenges running? Did you pass any challenges? I did manage to pass phase 1 of FTMO with the Aussie and the US dollar trade and the EJ trade combined when they were running. I was very close to passing the phase 1, and then those two trades just brought me to the profit target. So it's a 50K account, and now I'm in phase 2. So let's see what will happen with phase 2. Adi was looking at the recent flag as well, but as you said, too much bullish pressure. Yeah, too much bullish pressure for me. Unfortunately, too much bullish pressure doesn't fit my personal plan. Maybe for some other traders it's going to work. For me, it doesn't. I was looking for a flag sell setup right here. It never formed. We had, again, some very nice, very strong bearish pressure. Not really a big wick on the bottom. And then we started to form the flags. So the first low, first high, second low, second high would be somewhere right here above this. But again, never really formed. Adi passed few phase 1s. Oh, awesome to see it. Definitely definitely put it in the Discord. Put it in the Discord, in the achievements. I think there is an achievements channel, so put it in there. And if you want, we're gonna repost it on the Zentum Instagram as well. So yeah, definitely put it in the achievements channel. And congrats on passing those phase 1s. Awesome. Thank you. So a flag never formed. But then we dropped with a lot of momentum right here. Very nice selling pressure. Nice clean close on the bottom as well. But I wasn't really looking, or I did not have my order on for a break and retest. My level would be this minor low with a 12 pip stop loss. For the price to tag me into this position, it would need to show me some major buying pressure right here. And I wasn't happy. With this much bullish pressure. Definitely did not fit my personal plan. But I am still open to taking sell setups. So let's see what will happen here. If we can form a nice flag, same as the Aussie Japanese yen, I will definitely consider taking it with a bit of a bigger stop loss, maybe 15 pips, maybe even 20. Yeah, 20 does look good. I think 20 looks all right. Or if the price can pull back a little bit, break the low with force, show a clean close, retest the low, I'll definitely look for that sell setup. So this pair is on the watch list as well, and that covers all of the pairs that I live trade. Now let's cover some of the, see what is happening here. Okay, Aussie US dollar is now reversing up with a big bullish candle, so it's not looking that good, but it is what it is. Euro and the US dollar is printing a huge wick. That is pretty strange that they're showing a bit of different price action. So this is not really good to see. To be honest, I'm going to remove it from the watch list. I'm going to remove the Euro and the US dollar currently from the watch list. I do not like this huge wick. EJ continuing down. Okay, still looking for sell setups. AJ, a bit of a wick, but not concerning. It's not that big. Pound US dollar. Oof. Not doing well. So the pound and the US dollar is not doing well. I am gonna have to remove it from the watch list with this current running candle. Again, huge wick, big bearish drop. It's not looking that good for a buy setup. Now the momentum is starting to shift a bit, especially with the huge wick. So I am gonna be more patient with the pound. And NJ, we just covered, just forming a bit of a wick. So sell setups are still on the table. I am going to be looking for a possible flag or maybe a break and retest setup. Let's see what will happen there. Gold. I'm just going to quickly run through these ones, some of the big ones. Gold, S&P, Bitcoin. 1 hour chart. Bullish. 4 hour chart, kind of bullish, but I want to look at the daily. The daily is very interesting. So we tried to break out of the range. We tried it, but then retraced heavily. So we broke the major high, went into new highs. Okay, but then we unfortunately did retrace with some bearish pressure right here. Not really a good sign for bulls, so not really a good sign of bullish pressure. I would say this is maybe gonna continue ranging around. So possibly continue ranging around like this. We shall see, but that is what I forecast. What I would need to see on gold is a break of the high with a lot of momentum. Okay, I would need to see that. And then I would be a bull, basically. But this current price action is looking a bit corrective, a bit flat and range bound. I would like to see for this happen again. Big bullish legs to the upside, some major buying pressure. That would be very high probability to see. Okay, that is it for gold. S&P is going to be a bit more interesting. 1 hour is looking very bearish. So the 1 hour chart is looking like it really wants to continue dropping, especially with these three large bearish legs. If you guys have any requests, any questions, definitely put them in the chat. We're kind of nearing the end of the live stream, but still we're going to cover some questions if you guys have them. So yeah, three big bearish candles. I would look for a sell setup. 4 hour, very, very bearish. Big bearish leg, another one here. So I'm expecting this to drop. Daily is looking pretty bearish as well. It's kind of starting to print a big V reversal. So we were really bullish, but now the momentum has definitely flipped, in my opinion. So at this point, we were looking very, very bullish. But now, with the current momentum, it is starting to flip. So I would expect a bit of a correction from this big uptrend. Okay, we also kind of were looking at a trend line right here, which was just broken. Okay, there was a definite trend line. See, it was respected a couple of times. I know the S&P likes to trend a bit more correctively, so the Forex pairs really like to push with big momentum legs, but the S&P likes to move in channels, so it kind of moves in a big ascending channel right here. So you can also put a trend line right here as well. See, it gets respected a lot of the time, and when it breaks, there is a big correction after it. So I would not be surprised if something like this happens here on the top, because a big trend line was just broken. And that is it for the S&P. Expecting more downside for the S&P. Bitcoin, we're not really going to cover Nasdaq because it's looking even more bearish, to be honest. Nasdaq, very bearish. This would be a perfect, absolutely perfect break and retest sell setup for me personally. This is what I love to trade on the Forex pairs. Now this is the daily chart, but it doesn't really matter. The technicals are the same. So you have the ascending channel, you have the drop down, pullback, not really a lot of bullish pressure, and break of the low with a clean close. Very nice, very strong. I would just set a sell order right here and then wait to get tagged into the position. My bias is for this to go down. Now I really want to check out Bitcoin. What has Bitcoin been doing? Let's do the daily chart because it doesn't really make sense to go lower. Still in this range. So Bitcoin is still flat, corrective, and range bound in this area. Sure, we broke the major low, but we got a huge wick and heavily rejected that area. So my areas of interest on Bitcoin are still going to be here above this one and below this level right here. Okay. Let's see how we react in those areas, how we approach those areas, and if maybe we can get some nice reversal opportunities, or not reversal opportunities, but some nice uptrends or some nice downtrends. So if we break the upper one, I think we're going to go all the way to 100K. I would not be surprised, to be honest. If we break the lower, I think we're going to retest some of these levels, definitely, possibly even lower, like 30K, something like that. So it all depends on which level gets broken by how much momentum. What I do know, at least from my experience and from backtesting it just a little bit, Thanks for the sharing today, Marco. Got to go. Yeah, no worries, Adi. Thank you very much for attending the live stream. I hope you took some value, and maybe we will see each other on the Zentum call, which is in 2 hours. So have a great rest of the day, and I will see you in the Discord and on the call. Goodbye. But yeah, Bitcoin, I just wanted to say, the longer it does this, so the longer it kind of stagnates and doesn't really continue with the bullish uptrend that we had. So with this legs just pushing up to the upside, the less likely is the price to continue or to explode up. Okay, because that's at least what I have seen. When you get this big correction, it doesn't really show a lot of confidence and a lot of buying pressure. So I'm leaning more towards the drop in price. Okay, but again, I may be wrong. Bitcoin heavily depends on hype. It depends on people talking about it. It depends on it being in the media, on the internet, on Twitter, on YouTube, blah 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 blah. Just see the email I got. But there is no hype currently, right? The hype was gone around this time. The hype kind of died down, so I do not see any reason for a lot of buying pressure just yet. Okay, so let me see that we cover everything important. DXY is looking pretty flat, corrective and range bound. US oil, yeah, kind of flat as well, not really showing much. Maybe kind of a downtrend on the daily. 1 hour, it's in a downtrend. US oil is in a downtrend on the 1 hour chart, but the daily is looking pretty flat and corrective, I have to say. So that kind of concludes the live stream. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you very much for watching. Again, you know my forecast for the currency pairs that I trade. Good luck in the markets. This week we seem to have a lot of trends. So if you're a trend trader, this is your dream, right? This is absolutely perfect. This is exactly what you want to be seeing. Big, strong momentum legs in one direction. No bullish pressure. So I'm definitely looking for some nice sell setups depending on the pair. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next live stream.